At the beginning, everyone starts at 0. And I can give you tips for the first couple steps. That's what our day 1, that's what our week 1, that's what our week 2 was. As we're coming to a close of week 2, this is what I need us to focus on. However, the further into your company you get, the more uniquely your situation is. Does that make sense? From here on out, you will need to be able to problem solve on your own, because I can't perfectly predict what everyone's problem's gonna be. Now, I'll be there, I'll be in the community. If you need me, reach out to me. That's not the point. The point is, I think it was Albert Einstein, who said, a problem well defined is a problem more than half solved, or something like that. That's the point. It's not about you being alone to figure everything out on your own. It's that now you're piloting command. And now you need to be able to identify what the problems are, and you're the only one responsible for and that even cares about there being a resolution. So you kind of have to be the flame behind the fire. All right? You'll need to be able to problem solve on your own. Use what I'm about to teach you anytime you feel stuck. Now, this will take some time, but I want you to build an internal alarm that goes off. I want it to go off anytime you feel stuck, stagnant, sitting around longer than you normally are, anything like that. There needs to be an internal alarm that goes off. The only way you're able to build an internal alarm that goes off is if your why is strong enough. Because what will happen is the second you get stagnant, you will think of that why. And you'll be like, I need to get there. What the frick? Okay, this is what makes us pissed off at a red light when we're late to a party. It's not the red light. It's the fact that it's holding us back from our why. And the only reason why we care about the frickin' red, I don't care about the red lights around here right now because they're not holding me back from my why. Does that make sense? So the only way that you'll care about anything that could hold you back is if it is holding you back from a why. Get a strong why and then build an internal alarm to where the second you're like, oh, there's something off here. There's something off. Let's call a meeting. Let's assess this situation. We need to get this resolved. When you do that, I want you to use my problem solve cycle. Number 1, I need you to sit down and identify what your number 1 problem is. If you can't identify what your number 1 problem is, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to resolve. Some might say the only option you would have at that point is luck. I would agree with that. Okay, identify your number 1 problem. And you might say there's a lot of problems. Well, do them one at a time. What is your number 1 problem? What is your best solution? How do you find the best solution? I want you to write down the top 3 solutions that come to mind and then pick the best one. Or if there's an obvious best solution, you can just bypass all that. Write down the best solution. Okay, steps required. You now need to get out a piece of paper and say, okay, here's my problem, here's the solution, what are the steps required to carry that out? And you write it down. Now, all you have to do is do it. You don't have to feel motivated, you don't have to be smart, you don't have to nothing except next step. I'm gonna do this, okay. Here's the next step. All right, I really don't feel like this today. Next step, I freaking hate this, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Next step, and then the problem is solved, okay? That's how you do it. That's how realistically the successful people are able to accomplish these things. It's not just that they wake up fully capable, fully dominant, all these things, blah, 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 run through all the walls. It's that they just have a cycle. Okay, there's an issue. What's the issue? Got it. What's the solution? Okay. This is how we're going to solve it. What are the steps? All right, this step, this step, this step, this step. And they do it so quick that it's almost on autopilot. They don't really have a problem. Why? Because the problems don't last. All right, that's what I want you to do. Keep this in mind. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you feel stagnant. What's my number 1 problem? I don't do a good enough job with self-management every day. Okay, that's a good definition. You're not getting stuff done because you can't manage yourself well. Okay, what are some solutions? I could do some research. That might be a good solution. I could get some accountability, or I could just ignore this completely and hope that it gets better. Okay, let's say out of there you decide accountability is the best. Okay, so you get into the community and you contact me or you contact someone in there and say, hey, could you help me with self-management? And I say, okay, great, here's what we're gonna do. Now we lay out the steps together. Okay, you figured out the problem. You figured out the best solution. Now we have the steps required. All you have to do is do it. Do you see how this makes it so easy? But people don't use this And so they just sit stuck. And so now they just week after week, month after month, year after year, they spend their whole life bad at managing themselves and never change a thing. Is that stupid? Absolutely. Do people also do it all the time? Yes. Don't be stupid. Let's move on